The Cuban National Assembly of People's Power has been in session for the last 3 days. Top of the agenda, reviving domestic food production, which has nosedived over the last few years.
Practically 100% of food staples are being imported instead of being produced in the country.
6 years ago, 40% of the rice Cubans ate was grown domestically. By last year, the figure had fallen to 4%. US maximum pressure sanctions, introduced by Trump and left in place by Biden, are taking food off people's plates. They starve the country of billions of dollars in revenue every year, which means less money to spend on fertilizer, petrol, and food imports. Cuba's policies focus on getting food to those who need it most. For example, every child under 7 still receives a litre of milk each day. But the state's capacity to shield the vulnerable from sanctions is diminishing. For the last 2 years, around 1 million elderly Cubans have gone without the vitamin and protein supplements they're supposed to receive. Now, triple-digit inflation is hacking into people's spending power, a problem that Maria Castillo is all too aware of. She's just spent 2 days' salary on a couple of mangoes and some plantains.
Before the pandemic, prices were acceptable. Now prices have been sky high.
While Maria trusts the government will eventually guide the country out of the crisis, for her 19-year-old grandson, DENNI, the Communist Party's words ring hollow.
Life in Cuba is bad. There's hardly any food. You have to struggle to get by, and we can't live in Cuba anymore.
President Miguel Díaz-Canel today called on Cubans to use creative resistance to overcome the country's problems and boost production. What's your dream?
That my grandchild does something with his life, that he lives well, but he doesn't want to live here.
And your dream?
To leave the country and take my family with me.
Cubans emigrated in record numbers last year, and people in the capital today increasingly doubt whether the government has the ability to get the country back on its feet. One way for the government to convince more people to stay would be to get more food on people's plates. Augustin, Havana, Al Jazeera.